I think this is something everybody has dealt with. The phenomenon, the process of people pleasing, thinking you need to please everybody, you need everyone to approve of you. This is very dangerous. I think part of it has to do with, of course, upbringing. When we're told, be accepted, get along, and to a degree there's truth behind that. You should get along with people in general. But in this video, I want you to think about the dangers of people pleasing, as in you have a certain way of thinking, others have their ways of thinking. You have certain things that are in your best interest, others have certain things that are in their best interest. You have certain preferences, others have their preferences. You have certain goals, others have their goals. You have certain projections, others have certain projections. Now, all the things I just listed, don't you think that naturally you will be in conflict with someone in a certain area? Of course you will. And this can be little minuscule areas of life, and these can be big things in life. You have to think of it as in you have things that are in your best interest. So if you're always looking to make sure people give you a thumbs up on everything, people are cool with some of your actions, people agree with some of your actions, this is just such a limiting way of living, because it is impossible for everyone to agree and approve of all your actions. And even if they do in one aspect, you become like almost a slave to their thumbs up. You become a slave to their good job, and you don't want that. Maybe it's in your career, and you're trying to impress a certain higher up, a certain manager of some sorts. Like, sure, do your job, do your career as best as possible, be the best, understand your work through and through, and be very great at it. Or maybe you're working with a client, do a great job, provide an amazing service for the client, but you're still not there to seek approval from that person. You're there to share value, but you're not there to look over your shoulder constantly and give everyone the benefit of the doubt and forget your needs and things like that. That's what happens. We start forgetting our needs. You can't forget your needs. I always make the lawyer analogy. You have to be your own lawyer. You have to advocate for your own needs, things that benefit you, because people can't read your mind. I don't care if it's your parents or whatever. Yeah, they're super close to you. Maybe they understand you a lot, but I doubt they really understand you as much as you understand yourself. And the actions that you do, you have to kind of make a distinction of whether or not this is in my best interest. First, there's that. Once you know that a certain action is likely best for you, you just have to do it. And what holds us back with the whole people pleasing phenomenon is a fear of rejection. And this is just an evolutionary thing in our brain where rejection kind of means death, right? It means alienation from the tribe. It means being blacklisted. It means being on your own. And survival is more difficult when you're on your own. Because if you think about it, I don't care if you've spoken to a libertarian, they've told you, oh, I'm self-sufficient, everything I do is on me. It's like, no, they still go to the grocery store, which is operated by people. They use public restrooms operated by people. They use electricity, they use gas, they buy cars. They didn't build the car themselves. They buy hygiene products. They do all of this, right? That's how our world works. It's built by economies. It's built by people coming together. So this is what perpetuates our survival. This social rejection we can experience, whether it's from strangers, family, or friends or relationships, there's a certain potential of social rejection that we may feel that can be linked to death. Really deep down in our reptilian brain. This is what causes us to okay, I have to impress this person. I have to make sure this person likes me. What would this person think of this? What would this person think of that? And of course, this video isn't saying don't do things like watch your reputation. That's a little different. You cannot be a people pleaser and still care about your reputation. Drop the need for others to be okay with every single action that you take. And this isn't going to happen overnight. What it can be small things through time. Maybe there's a shirt that you like in your closet that you just love this shirt, but you don't want to wear it because you're afraid that people are going to judge you for it. People are going to look at you a certain way. This is kind of me when I was a little younger. I've always been a fan of little, colorful clothing. And what was this, age 19 or something? This is when my fashion really kicked up a notch.
Do you see this cup? Man, come on, man.
And there's a shirt I had, and I wanted to wear it, but I was like, what if, what are they gonna think of this shirt? And then one day I just wore it. And what's crazy is that day, ironically, I got the most compliments. Those compliments allowed me to be like, hey, what other areas in my life am I afraid that I'll get disapproval for that it's actually not as bad as I might think? And in fact, ironically, maybe, some compliments will happen. Not that I need them, but they might happen. Dropping people pleasing, the more you can do it, is the more free, more expansive, more fun life gets. There's less heaviness to it. There's less people with their hands in your pot. Oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this, oh, do that. It's good to get secondhand opinion, but if you get too much opinion, all these opinions get convoluted, like they just mix together and you start getting confused. So if you get opinion, get a couple opinions and then go inside, look internally, and make your own decision on things. And if your decision isn't correct, that's fine. You can just make new decisions that fix it. You can iterate from that mistake. And if your decision is correct, perfect, you made the right decision. So, the thing behind people pleasing, it's that fear. It's that unknown of how people will react. And it's that alienation that happens if you get disapproved of. But I want you to keep in mind that, trust me, when you make certain life decisions, whether they're bold or not that bold, people may react to it initially, but they get used to it. It happens all the time. Like, people see, oh wow, you're doing that, oh, he made this decision, but they just see that as like the new you. Like, they get used to that as the new you. And of course, there might be others that prefer the older you, and they're not cool with the newer you, and that's totally fine. Life's too short to worry about that too much. So that's another thing. That's another thing to keep in mind. I think a great video to watch after this is, are you living for the imaginary audience? Another video I made kind of centered around people pleasing. And in that video, I kind of broke down that there are different segments of people in your life. It could be people close to you and also strangers that you kind of have, you're on a stage with them, and you're viewing yourself from kind of a meta perspective where you see yourself on the stage, you also see the audience, and you're projecting thoughts that they may have about you, and you're projecting you're thinking of old ways they view you as, and you want to be consistent with that way they view you as. And stepping away of how they view you brings you maybe some anxiety, maybe brings you some discomfort, because you don't know how they'll react to this new you. But I'm telling you to take that leap, and in a lot of cases, people probably won't care as much as you think they do, especially strangers, and probably those closest to you as well. Some will care, and if it comes to where you have to make a decision, is this life choice more important, or is it this person's opinion that's more important? You gotta make that decision. Sometimes you gotta just take things by level of importance. Hey, it's my life. Am I making the right decision? I think I am. I've gotten other opinions about this decision, and I think this is the right thing to do. And then maybe it turns out great. Maybe it doesn't turn out great. But hey, what happened if it doesn't turn out great? It's a learning lesson, and you've been able to trust yourself to make a decision. That's another thing. When you let go of the need to please everybody, you trust yourself more with the decisions that you make. This builds confidence. Confidence is self-trust. It's self-trust. And when you have self-trust, sometimes you'll still experience fear. It's not like, okay, you trust yourself, you won't experience fear. You'll have some fear in certain situations. But it's like that trust helps you also bring in courage, which is, acting in the face of fear. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I want you to, this is such a fundamental topic with my channel, because the things I talk about, they're a little more outside the box. They're very much baked into your psychology. And if you're going to do spiritual work or work on the way you think, you cannot be bogged down by your past self-image, your current self-image, or your past self-image, or your thoughts of how other people may view you.